Most people aren't stuck with their healing journey because they aren't trying hard enough. They're stuck because they're guessing. Guessing what supplements to take, guessing what diet to try, even guessing what systems need support. It's a tongue twister. But here's the thing. Guessing is expensive. And it's not just financially costly, right? It costs in time, energy, and even emotional exhaustion. As a nurse and someone who's personally walked through a chronic illness healing journey, I have seen this pattern over and over again. People aren't lacking motivation. They're lacking clarity and therefore direction. And that is where bioenergetic testing comes in and can be a very healing and helpful tool. In fact, bioenergetic testing can change everything. And today, I want to talk about what bioenergetic testing actually is, and more importantly, how it can help take you from the guessing game to moving forward with clarity and confidence on your healing journey. When people don't have clear information on what to do for their health or how to get to their health goals and healing goals, they do what makes sense. Typically, they experiment, right? They try the supplement that worked for somebody else. They might try protocols they read about online, or they experiment with their diet, adding foods, eliminating foods, changing their routines. And none of those things are necessarily bad, right? Sometimes those things actually even help. But often progress is inconsistent, if at all, or temporary, or confusing. But the truth is, your body is unique. And we need to honor that in your healing journey, your uniqueness. So your stress load is unique, right? Your toxic burden is unique to you. Your nervous system capacity is unique to you and your circumstances. And so copying someone else's healing plan doesn't always produce the same results. It doesn't mean their plan's wrong. It doesn't mean your ideas are wrong. It just doesn't align and provide clarity and direction for your unique needs. This is usually the point where you might start to feel frustrated. But to reiterate, it's not about lack of effort. You have tried. You have tried. It's just about a lack of direction, the clarity that comes, that produces a direction to head. And so healing becomes more efficient when you stop guessing and you start working with information that is specific to your body. And that's where we're headed next here. Bioenergetic testing helps us exactly do that. It's a tool that helps identify the body's stressors and imbalances, and it helps to measure ways to move forward around those stressors and imbalances using your own body's energetic responses. If that even sounds still too complicated, we're going to break it down further, so stay with me. So let's start with the concept that your body is constantly communicating, right? Symptoms are that. The symptoms we experience are our body communicating, but even before symptoms pop up, our body is still communicating with us. So long before the dysfunction shows up on traditional lab work or other forms of traditional medical testing, our body experiences stress. I'm not just talking about only emotional stress or, work stress or whatever we might be thinking of when we hear the word stress. I'm talking about any input our body receives that may be stressful to it. Toxic burdens, chemicals, foods, emotions, they count too. Anything at all, even germs, bacteria and viruses, environmental stressors, allergens, anything like that we might come across on a day-to-day basis that could create stress in our body. Our systems can become burdened by that, physically, mentally, emotionally, and our adaptation might become strained, especially over time. We only have so much capacity for stressors before symptoms start to appear. So bioenergetic testing helps identify where those stressors may be, what they may be, and what they might be causing within our body. Bioenergetic testing can highlight things like organ systems that are under stress, specifically organs, glands, and systems interworking within our body, nervous system imbalances, environmental stressors, immune system burden, nutritional priorities. We can talk about foods that might be, especially less so foods to avoid maybe, although we can get into a little bit of that, but also foods for actual healing right now. And which supportive interventions our body may respond to best, so the guessing game is reduced. Now, none of this is a substitute for traditional medicine, okay? It just complements it. It's an additional tool that has a pretty significant amount of impact on how we move forward in our health and healing. So things like traditional lab work or traditional medical testing are excellent for diagnosing disease, okay? They're not without their benefit too, but bioenergetic testing can help identify imbalances earlier. We can get ahead of the game a little bit more and maybe even ward off going down the wrong path altogether. It's great to use when the body is still trying to compensate. It gives us kind of like a broader picture of function, not just disease picture. So I'm not touting it as even a diagnostic tool, to be very clear with you, okay? We're looking at it as a tool in the toolbox of keeping your body on track with your health and healing goals that are unique to you. Therefore, it's a way to provide clarity and direction. So I wrote down here how I like to present bioenergetic testing as helping you to stop guessing on your healing journey, okay? Because this is where people experience the biggest shift, right? Instead of trying 10 different supplements and hoping something works, and then if something works, not knowing what actually worked, you actually can have direction moving forward, and you can do more with less. Yeah, you can actually. So instead of constantly wondering what to do next, you have a starting point with bioenergetic testing. Instead of second guessing every decision, you have a clearer roadmap. This saves people enormous amounts of time, energy, and money, especially in the long run, especially when people are dealing with a journey, shall we say, whether that's chronic illness or just a journey towards maintaining wellness in a world that is not suited for maintaining wellness very well. Okay. So your healing can become more intentional in all of this too. And we all know that intentionality has the most bang for its buck in the long run also. And just as importantly as intentionality, this type of healing, proactive healing with clarity and direction, can really help restore confidence. And honestly, I would say personally in my own journey, that had some of the biggest payoff in my own healing. So one of the hardest parts of chronic health struggles is feeling like you are constantly throwing darts in the dark. That's what I wrote down in my notes here, because that was the best explanation I could think of it. Also, my other famous metaphor for this is whack-a-mole. It just feels like you're trying to whack the next thing that pops up and it's never actually getting you anywhere. You're never winning the game, so to speak, right? But bioenergetic testing shifts that. It turns the lights on in the dark. You're not throwing darts in the dark anymore. You're not just randomly whack-a-moling a game and hoping to win some tickets, okay? But it doesn't mean healing happens overnight either. I want to be completely honest. Truth is important. Okay. I'm not trying to mislead anyone, but it does mean you stop wasting time and energy and money just moving in circles, just throwing darts randomly, just whacking randomly. You can actually move forward with purpose and with results in the end of it all. So what does this translate to? What might it look like to be a client or to utilize bioenergetic testing, right? So when I work with clients utilizing bioenergetic testing, one of the most common things that they tend to say, paraphrased, is I finally feel like I am understanding what my body needs. I feel like I know what to do now. I go home with a plan. It's not like a new protocol. Don't get me wrong. It's not like some massive thing, but it's a direction forward. Okay. And it's not because it magically fixes everything. It's because it's clarity in action, right? Clarity allows us to prioritize. Clarity allows us to simplify. And clarity allows us to stop doing the things that aren't helping and focus specifically on what is. Because healing does not require more. It requires doing what matters most and doing that consistently. And that's what clarity provides and what bioenergetic testing helps provide. So if any of this resonates with you, I want you to know this is exactly what I will be teaching more about in my upcoming webinar on March 10th. This will be a paid live training that's going to walk you through coaching from me. Basically, why guessing keeps you stuck. I'm looking at my outline list. How to identify what your body actually needs. And how to use bioenergetic testing to fit into a smarter healing strategy for yourself, unique to you. And one of the main things we're going to talk about is how to begin moving forward with clarity and confidence. Again, unique to you and your needs. So this training is designed to help you stop spinning your wheels. All right. And it's going to be about working smarter, not harder with your health. If you like the sound of that, it is true. It can be done. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your body on a deeper level, on a truly holistic level, right? I would love to see you there. You can find the registration link below. And as always, thank you for being here today and cheers to your best, most clear healing journey.